Jason Voorhees is officially back. Hello, I am CruelZV, and welcome back to another video, another ranking video, I must say. And today, we are going to be ranking every single Friday the 13th film, including the Never Hike Alone franchise, and the brand new Sweet Revenge film that came out 2 days ago. So we're going to rank every single one of them, and the only reason I'm actually including Never Hike Alone is because the actor who played Tommy Jarvis in Part 6 does reprise his role as Tommy Jarvis in Never Hike Alone 1 and 2. So we are going to rank every single one of them from worst to best. Let's go. Now, this one might not come as a shock to a lot of people, but dead last is Jason Goes to Hell: The Final Friday. This movie is outrageously terrible. It is horrendous in every single way possible. It's one of the worst entries in the Friday the 13th franchise. By far the worst in the franchise. Like, dude. The whole point of this movie was Jason Voorhees getting lured to chase this girl that was in a bathtub, and then she lures him out into this field, and then a whole bunch of people with guns and rocket launchers just start firing at Voorhees and literally destroy his body in the first 5 minutes of the film. Like, dude, what? Like, what are we gonna do after this one? Jason's kind of dead now. Oh, guess what they do? Jason's heart can now possess people, and they become evil. And when they die, the evil inside of them transfers to a new person, and then it's just like, they just keep going around until they get back to Crystal Lake. It's the stupidest plot ever. The worst characters in the entire franchise. There's literally nothing good about this film. Nothing. The only good thing is that Kane Hodder reprises his role as Jason Voorhees and plays one of the coolest looking Jason Voorheeses for only 5 minutes. 5 minutes! It's such a stupid film that didn't need to be made. And the storytelling is absolutely terrible. You can tell this film was just kind of rushed out there. However, the only actual good thing is the end scene where Freddy's hand comes out of the sand, grabs Jason's mask, and pulls him into hell. That's literally the entire, that's really the entire plot right there. Like, it's called Jason Goes to Hell: The Final Friday. He only gets pulled into hell in the last 2 seconds of the film. Can you guys believe that? Anyways, in next place, whatever, is going to be Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, it was cool, I guess. It was filmed over here in Vancouver, which is kind of cool, I guess, but the movie is all over the place. It says it's taken over Manhattan, but really, we're on a boat the entire film. The entire film. Like, I'm serious. The entire film, we're just on a boat. And then, we get put onto another boat after he actually walks through Manhattan for like 5 minutes in the film, or like 10 minutes. He's only in Manhattan for like 10 minutes in the entire film. It's ridiculous. I hate to put Kane Hodder's stuff in dead last, but the movies just suck, man. His roles are actually like hella good, but and his performance is great. It's just they did him dirty by putting him in the worst possible Jason movies ever. So yeah. In 14th or 13th place, I don't know, dude, because I have 4 other films on here. After that is going to have to be, and this might hurt a lot of people, although it might not hurt a lot of people. We have the 2009 remake. Now, thing is, this movie didn't really feel like a Jason Voorhees movie. I can definitely tell it is Jason Voorhees, but I don't know, it just doesn't bring that Friday the 13th aspect. And I get it, it's a reboot. It's supposed to be rebooting the character and rebooting the franchise. But I don't like it that they also made him human and kind of ruined the whole supernatural, teleporting, immortal zombie. It kind of ruins that whole aspect of what Jason Voorhees is supposed to be. And this movie did have some decent kills in it, I will be honest about that, but the story wasn't great. The characters were kind of bland. It wasn't necessarily the greatest characters, but it wasn't that good of a movie. I thought it was a bad movie overall. Like, decent kills, bad characters, bad character development, I must say. And I do like the under-tunnel system that Jason takes. Really, the only good things about this film are some of the kills, which are pretty decent, as I said. Jason himself is pretty cool. I thought that, oh, I forgot his name, Derek. Yeah. Derek did do a decent job at playing Jason, but I don't know. They ruined Jason Voorhees in this film by making him a human right away, because he literally dies in the end of the film, but in part 2, he doesn't die. He then comes back in part 3. But overall, there's not much to say about it. It's just kind of a bad movie overall. So, yeah. Next place is Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And thing is, my friend Michael, also known as Aware Table 54, absolutely loved Roy. Or I think he still does, but dude, Roy was like his biggest thing. So just because of that, this film does get extra points, especially for Roy. But overall, the characters, again, same problems with the remake. But on the other hand, this movie has actually a better storytelling than most films in the franchise. This one actually does have a story, while some of them don't have a story. But however, this film does lack Jason Voorhees. Obviously, Roy is the killer in this film. That's a downgrade. But Roy was still a decent killer. He still did Jason Voorhees' job correctly. But I just wasn't a big fan of it that much. And I hate to put it down in this list, because I know my friend Aware, aka Michael, loves this movie, but I'm sorry, I just have to put this down below. The story wasn't that great, characters were kind of bland, again, and the kills were okay. There were, like, some actually decently really good kills, but, it just wasn't my cup of tea, man. That's just what I think. Sorry. Next up is the beer ad, Sweet Revenge. Wow, okay, this film wasn't that bad, actually. It has, like, some really, really gnarly kills. Like, a specific kill in this movie already makes my top 10 best kills in the Friday the 13th franchise. And that's just a lot, because it's only like a 15 minute short film. But it knocks it out of the park when Jason is on screen. When he's off screen, though, yeah, it's a pretty bad film. But, and that's another thing with these other films I already listed. Same problem with that one. When Jason isn't on screen, it's not necessarily that great. But overall, it was just kind of a bad... It wasn't bad. It was, like, okay at best. Like, we're going into the okay category of Friday films now. But overall, that's just what I think of the film. So, yeah. Next up is Never Hike in the Snow Alone, which was actually a pretty decent short film. It had like one gnarly kill with the bow, and the story wasn't that bad either. And again, Ghost Jason, a menace, dude. This guy is nuts. And he's like a big stalker, much. But overall, this is just kind of an okay short film. It has like one gnarly kill in it. The other one is just... Actually, no, it actually is pretty good. Really, the only thing you'll watch this for is for the kills, and other than that, the story isn't that great, so... Sorry. Next up, and I hate to say this, the original. I'm sorry. The original is just lacking it, bro. It's cheesy, and that's a good thing. Horror movie is supposed to have cheese, but this movie is insanely slow, and the action only happens in the second half of the film. And Pamela is only in the movie for 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes, actually. She's barely even in the film. At least with Michael Myers, you see him throughout the entire film for a duration of 10 minutes. But Pamela, she's only in the film for the last 10 minutes of the movie. And the kills are, yet again, not that great. But it's an 80s movie. It came out in the 80s. It came out in the 80s. Like, it came out in 1980. Like, of course it's going to be a cheesy film with not that great kills. It was made on a short budget. But they could have done it better, man. The story wasn't that great. The characters are pretty forgettable, except for Kevin Bacon. That's like the only unforgettable character there. But yeah. Next up, and I think this might not come as a shock to a lot of people, the first Never Hike Alone. And this one is great throughout, but it's a very slow movie. I put this in like the semi-good category. It's a decent short film. Like, it's good for what it was, but comparing it to other films on this list, it's really slow. There's only like 3 characters throughout the entire film. There's only 2 kills in the entire film. And it was just kind of like really slow. Like, the action only happens until halfway through it. And keep in mind, it's like a 40-minute short film. So like so when you're thinking about it, first 20 minutes are just nothing, and then the second half is like actually something. But overall, it introduced us to Ghost Jason, and it was absolutely great. And yeah, there's not much to say about it. It's kind of just, you know, a good typical movie. Yeah. Next up, and a lot of people actually kind of hate this movie for some reason. I've seen a lot of hating on this one for some reason. Part 3. I don't know why people hate on this one. It's cheesy, has some good kills, the story wasn't that bad, the characters weren't that bad. The cabin itself was pretty cool. It's just kind of like a good film, you know? It's just kind of a good film, but nothing much to say. It's just a good film. Yeah. And next up we have, and this one might come as a shock to a lot of people, we have Jason X. Yeah, I know. I'm a fan of Jason X, bro. It's a good film. It's so cheesy, but I love Jason in space, bro. The characters were so dumb. It made me love it even more, dude. The characters were so bad that it just made me love it more and more and more and more. It was such a good film. Like, dude, well, not such a good film, but it was just a good film overall. You know what I mean? Jason in space, you don't see it. You don't get to see that ever again. And Kane Hodder absolutely nails Jason in this movie. Uber Jason is my favorite Jason of all time. Besides Part 8, I know, Part 8 is my favorite Jason. I hate the movie, but yeah. But Uber Jason is such a menace, dude. This guy is strong. Like, he is like... Dude, he could probably beat every single WWE wrestler without getting a scratch on him. Dude, Jason is like a menace in this film. Like, a menace when it comes to strength, at least. Like, after he gets that nanotechnology and turns himself into Uber Jason, he becomes like an actual killing machine, dude. Like, it's crazy. Crazy, I tell you. Alright, next up, and this one is not a shock, actually. We have Never Hike a... No, I'm just kidding. I would never put it this low. Freddy vs. Jason, obviously. Freddy vs. Jason is actually pretty boring throughout the second half. But, no, throughout the first half. The second half, though, is just pure cinema. It's amazing. If you don't like the second half of Freddy vs. Jason, you're wild. wild, I'm telling you. It is such a good second half, but the first half is what puts it at like a 6 out of 10. Sadly. And it's because it was just pretty slow. They got rid of Kane Hodder. But Ken Kirzinger still did pretty decent as Jason Voorhees in this film. I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on you, buddy. I still like your Jason Voorhees. It's just, this guy right here, I'm sorry, man. That you kind of lost there. I'm sorry, but it's kind of true. Next up on our list, we have The New Blood, which I never thought would make it on my top 5 for the Friday the 13th franchise. I know. So many of you guys are going to come riling at me. You're going to say, dude, New Blood sucks. I'm a defender of the film, bro. Telekinetic Girl versus Jason Voorhees, crushing the whole building. What could you not want from that? And also, it's like the best looking version of Jason Voorhees in the entire franchise. And some of the kills were pretty good in this as well. Specifically in the cut before they came out with the film. The non-theatrical kills in this movie are nuts. Especially the bag scene. That's the most memorable kill in the entire franchise. Probably my favorite one. And the characters were actually kind of bad, but they were dumb enough for me to like it. And Jason Voorhees, again, just didn't have any mercy. And he was, like, really nasty in this film. The ending was pretty good. I do like that ending. And then they send him back into the lake by bringing her father to life, which I thought was actually pretty heartwarming. That was pretty cool to have him come out. And then he drags Jason into the water with him. That was pretty darn cool. I do like that. And yeah, it's overall like a 7, 8 out of 10 film. Yeah. Next up, we have Never Hike Alone 2. Yes, Never Hike Alone 2 is so good. The fight scenes in this were great. Tommy and Jason going back at it. Again, it was great. The characters weren't that bad either. They were actually pretty decent. The story was pretty good. And Jason was a menace in this one. There were some gnarly kills. Or some decent kills. But Never Hike Alone 2 was great. And I love that they actually made this like an hour, 12-minute film. Like, it really felt like a Friday the 13th film. It wasn't this. Never Hike Alone isn't like a fan film. It's more than that. Like, the possibilities with Never Hike Alone. And I'm pretty sure they are in production on Never Hike Alone 3, if I'm correct. But Never Hike Alone 2 was great. It was a great sequel, and it did everything right. So, yeah. In my third spot, we are in the top 3. Yeah, we're in the top 3, guys. We're in the top 3. And my top 3 is The Final Chapter. Yes, The Final Chapter, great. I love Tommy Jarvis in this one. Tommy Jarvis is great. Corey Feldman, you did pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. The kills were pretty good. The characters weren't that bad for once. They were pretty dumb. That's a good thing. The story wasn't that bad either. Jason was a menace in this film, and it had one of the best endings in the entire franchise. It was so good with Corey Feldman tricking Jason into thinking that it's his younger self, telling him to stop. I thought that was like really cool, kind of heartwarming for the big old guy to see his younger self telling him to stop, and then they just end up trying to murder him again, in which they do. And then he gets struck by a lightning. And my number 2 is Part 2. I love Part 2. Part 2 is a guilty pleasure. Part 2 is great. It has some of the best kills in the franchise. It has my favorite ending in the entire franchise. And it has one of the best final girls in the entire history of horror. I love the final girl in this film. She's so good. Dude, there's not much to say. Part 2 is just like a 10 out of 10. It's nearly perfect, but not as good as our number 1 spot, in which I think you guys already know what my number 1 is going to be. Part 6. I don't know, dude. The story, phenomenal. Best characters in the entire franchise. Phenomenal. The story, the kills, phenomenal. The way Jason gets brought back by lightning, phenomenal. It's so good. Oh my god, dude. Part 6 is so good. And it has one of the best endings ever. And Tommy Jarvis plays such a great role in this film. Dude, I can't but love this film to death, bro. Part 6 is the definitive Friday the 13th film, in my opinion. And yeah, that is the video, everyone. That is every single Friday the 13th film ranked from worst to best. So I hope you guys really did enjoy this video, because it took 21 minutes to film and it took like 30 minutes to edit. So thank you guys for hopping on and watching this video. We are getting so close to monetizing myself. We are getting close to getting monetized or making memberships for our channel and getting super chats and stuff. So I would really appreciate it if we can get there, because we are getting so close. We're over halfway there in watch hours. So thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. So I hope all of you have a great day, and I will see y'all later. Go check out my Until Dawn episode premiering on the 25th. I'm pretty sure it's the 25th or the 24th, whatever works. We're doing the 10th anniversary of Until Dawn. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all later.